Got any unusual Christmas traditions, Shell?
Gosh, I'm trying to think. We, other than eating things like giblet gravy, I don't think it's too weird.
That's not unusual.
No, I mean, not where I'm from.
My brother and I used to go steal a log from old Mr. Kelly's woodpile every Christmas.
Tradition?
It is tradition, Shell.
Money-saving effort on Reese's part?
No.
Oh.
Mr. Kelly was my boyhood home, the old man who lived behind our house. Not like in the backyard. It's just our backyard and his backyard kind of butted up next to each other.
No alleyway where you were from.
No, there's no alley.
Got it.
And Mr. Kelly was just widely regarded as the crabby old man in our neighborhood. There's no question. He was the crabby old man in our neighborhood.
Yelled at you to get off the lawn, didn't want you to have fun, just crabby.
And whenever Mr. Kelly came over to our house, which was not often, but whenever he did, see, everybody who came to our house came to the front door and rang the door buzzer.
Right.
No bell, just a buzzer.
Sure.
And only one person ever came to the back door. It was always Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly would always come to the back door because as he walked out of his house, he was right there at our back door. For him to go to our front door, he'd have to walk out to the street all the way around on Hawthorne Lane and then come down Sherwood Road and then turn up our sidewalk.
Yeah.
So Mr. Kelly, who lived just steps from our back door, whenever he had something to say to us or a question for us, knock on the back door.
Yeah.
We always knew it was Mr. Kelly.
Sure.
We always knew it was only one person ever used that door. And one Christmas, my brother was home from his brave tour of duty in the United States Navy. I don't know how old I was. I was a young teenage lad.
Yeah.
And my mother had said, why don't you go get a log from Mr. Kelly's woodpile? I'd like to have a fire tonight. We don't have any wood. My brother and I looked at each other. My mother is suggesting that we steal something?
Steal? Out and out?
My saintly mother?
Really?
But we could not resist the covert operation challenge.
Plus you had permission.
Of sneaking out under the cover of darkness on another bitter, cold Chicago Christmas night and stealing a log from Mr. Kelly's woodpile. You could almost hear the Mission Impossible theme music play as we crept out.
Or Mannix. Mannix would be good, too.
Mission Impossible, I'm thinking, Shell. It was like
all right.
Navy SEALs.
Did you do the black coating under your eyes and the black stocking cap?
Don't be ridiculous, please.
I didn't know how far you took it.
You're sillying up my story.
Of course I am.
And so we crept out under the cover of darkness, each covering each other with would-be weapons.
That were just your fingers pointed like a gun.
That's correct, but we had them in the pockets of our coats to make it look like we had weapons.
Of course we did.
We picked the plumpest, roundest log we could find, snatched it from the woodpile, and made our daring escape.
Wow.
Back into our house.
Into your own backyard.
And the log was placed in the Rickards family fireplace, and it was lit, and within minutes, the living room was aglow with warmth and the slightest hint of oak smoke, courtesy of a log which had been snatched sans permission from Mr. Kelly's woodpile. Not long after that, my father came home from his busy day at work and was surprised to see the glowing Yule log in the fireplace, knowing that we had no firewood. And as my brother and I sat in the living room, warming our toes from the frigid, daring mission we had just accomplished with complete success.
20 feet into your backyard.
Waiting for the congratulatory phone call from the director of the CIA, or dare I say, perhaps Vice President Mondale. My father went into the kitchen to greet his bride. And as they were talking, we couldn't hear what they were saying, only mumblings. My brother and I reveling in the daring courage that we had displayed. Suddenly we heard...
Oh, no.
The unmistakable knock of Mr. Kelly.
Well, you have to hide the fire.
My brother and I looked at each other, and without speaking a word, we shared the daring of the same wonder. Could there be someone other than Mr. Kelly knocking at the back door? We desperately hoped. We desperately wished. And the unmistakable sound of the back door being rattled open, and my father saying, "Hello, Charlie," which was Mr. Kelly's first name.
Oh, no.
And so, my brother and I, having been caught, as it seems, in our daring mission, did the only thing that two brave commandos could do.
Whose bed? His or yours?
We ran and hid under our parents' bed.
The bigger one, good.
More headroom.
God.
Here's my brother. Home on leave from United States Submarine Service of the United States Navy.
Brave man.
Cowering under the bed with me, his teenage brother. My father wandering the house. Boys, Mr. Kelly's here, wants to talk to you. And when my father walked into his bedroom and discovered his submarine service son and his dashing teenage son.
Dashing?
Yes.
Oh, really?
It adds to the
Dashed
story.
away. I guess as long as you're making it up, you might as well.
Trembling in each other's arms, hiding under the bed. It was then that my father burst out laughing at his little joke of having fake knocked on the back door.
Reese!
Pretending to be Mr. Kelly. Oh, he enjoyed his little joke quite a bit. Really enjoyed his joke.
How embarrassed were you?
It was certainly a lot for me to live down, but being a very late bloomer and really only a young lad, certainly not as bad as my brother, the quartermaster, aboard a nuclear-powered fast-attack submarine in his president's service during the Cold War with the USSR. Certainly a little bit harder for him to swallow. Anyhow, from that moment on, it was always tradition at Christmas that my brother and I would sneak out on the cover of Christmas darkness and steal a log from Mr. Kelly's woodpile.
Oh.
That's a true story, Shel.
You little Dickens.